Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to look at April 2021 Visa Bulletin. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of current month's Visa Bulletin, which is March 2021, against the new Visa Bulletin, which is April 2021. So if you are interested in this topic, watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now, in the last couple of months, we have seen the Visa Bulletin for the next month is released anytime after 20th of the month. It has been consistent since the last several, I would say about a year or so. They haven't been able to release this Visa Bulletin before 15th of the month, which they used to do in the past. It seems that now they have caught up to the original timeline and they have released the Visa Bulletin on 12th of this month, which is great because now we get more time to plan for our actions based on the date's movement, which we are going to see for the next month. Now, as a reminder, for this month of March until 31st of March, you are still going to look at March Visa Bulletin, March 2021 Visa Bulletin. The one for April is going to take effect on 1st of April. So the dates in the April Visa Bulletin will be effective 1st of April. So if your date becomes current, you'll be able to apply for 485, which is adjustment of status, starting 1st of April. So with that said, let's look side by side comparison of Visa Bulletin compared to March versus April. Now, as you can see here, I have March 2021 Visa Bulletin on the left and April 2021 Visa Bulletin on the right. As usual, we'll first go through the family based category and then we'll look at the employment based category. So here it is. So there are 5 categories, as you can see: F1, F2A, F2B, F3 and F4. Now for the month of March, only F2A category is going to use the final action dates chart for family based category. All the other categories such as F1, F2B, F3 and F4 are still going to be using filing dates chart. So what has changed? Let's see. F1 has changed for across the board for all chargeability, China, India, Mexico and Philippines by about a month, except Mexico that has only advanced by 3 weeks. F2A category remains current. So anybody applying for F2A category can apply for their adjustment of status immediately as concurrent filing. F2B category has also progressed by about a month across the board. F3 also by few days, say for instance for all chargeability from 1st of August of 2008 to 8th of August. And F4 category has moved also by about 8 to 10 days across the board. So not much of a moment. The only thing matters here is F2A will be able to immediately apply for 485 based on the final action dates chart. Now this is the filing dates chart for family based category. So F1, F2B, F3 and F4 are going to use this chart for the month of March and April. So what has changed is you can see 1.5 month of progression for F1 across the board almost. Although Mexico hasn't changed at all. You can see it's still stuck at 1st of March 2000. F2A category, which doesn't matter for this chart, has progressed by about a month. F2B has also progressed by about a month. F3 has progressed very slightly, and that too only for Philippines. I don't see it progress for any other countries. F4 has also progressed only by couple of months for Philippines, but not at all for any other countries. Now let's look at the employment based preference category. This is the chart that is being used for all employment based categories for the month of March and also possibly for April as well. There is a lot of movement. As you can see, EB1 for India and China have now become current. So EB1 category for employment based is all current throughout the board in final action date chart. That means if you are in the EB1 category and if you are applying for green card, you can concurrently file your 140, 485 EAD and so on at the same time. There is no waiting period for your priority date to become current, because it is current as per the final action date chart, which is a very good news for a lot of people. And this has happened because all of those spillover visa numbers from last year have been helping this category a lot since October. So as I said in my previous video, these visa numbers from spillover from last year were not actually evenly distributed across the employment based category. So they were first applied to EB5, then they came to EB1, then the EB2 and EB3. So now as all of the EB1 backlog is completed, so they are at the current stage right now, you will start seeing EB2 and EB3 dates in final action date chart progressing much faster by a couple of months every month up until August or September. So let's keep going. On EB2, you can see China has advanced by 2 months from July to September, and India has advanced by 4 months. So they have progressed from 15th of January 2010 to 1st of May 2010, which is almost 3.5 months. Same good news for EB3 as well. For China, they have progressed from 8th of February 2018 to 15th of March 2018. And for India, they have progressed from 1st of July 2010 to 1st of September 2010, which is also 2 months of progression for EB3. You can see here a subtle change. Now EB2 has suddenly started to advance much faster. What does this mean? There are two things that is contributing to this. All the EB1 category is now current. So there are no more spillover visas that are required for EB1 category. So obviously they are now being used for EB2 category. So EB2 dates have been advancing now faster. Now the second thing is, a lot of people have also downgraded their application, which means they have changed their application from EB2 to EB3. So obviously some numbers from EB2 have reduced. So there is a dual effect going on here for EB2. So people should rejoice in EB2 India category because of the spillover numbers now coming in for EB2, as well as the downgrade petitions that are happening for EB3. EB2 category now we are seeing moving much faster, and I will anticipate that this is going to be the continuing trend for the next couple of months. So I would say EB2 could end up in somewhere in the middle of 2011 until the end of this fiscal year. So that will be a very good news for a lot of people from India EB2 category. Now let's keep going. The fourth preference category has also advanced. For El Salvador, it's from June to August of 2018, and for Mexico, it is from January of 2019 to February of 2019. So about a month change. It remains current for all other categories. Now EB5 has remained same for all categories except Vietnam, that has advanced by 2 months, and EB5 regional center has also advanced for Vietnam by the same amount of date. So no change in any other countries for there. So final action date chart, great news for EB1, good news for EB2 and EB3 as well. Although we are seeing now that EB2 is advancing much faster than EB3, and I'll expect that EB2 will even advance ahead of EB3 at some point of time during this year. Now remember, filing date chart is not being used for the current month, and I don't see any change happening for April 2021 as well. USCIS will continue to use final action date chart for EB category for April. That is my prediction. So now the most important question, which chart to use? This page which tells you which filing date chart should be used. So for the current month, as you can see, for family sponsored visas, F2A category is the only category that will use the final action date chart. All other family based categories will use filing date chart, dates of filing date chart. For employment based category, I expect USCIS to continue to use final action date chart for the month of April. So I hope a lot of people have now become eligible, especially from EB2 and EB3, for their adjustment of status in the month of April. So if you are, congratulations, you are one step closer to getting your green card. Now some people have also told me that they have still not received the receipt numbers. Some have received after January, which filed in November and December, and some have received their biometrics but are still waiting for their EADs. Now EADs are getting processed very fast. I have seen people getting EADs within 2.5 months, but there are some people who have completed 4 months that have not received it. I would say you would get your EAD anytime after 3 months have passed since the date of filing of your I-485. And from that point onwards, it really depends upon your field office and the workload that they have based on your current address, because that's where your final entry will take, which eventually will lead to getting your case processed and approved. My last video I talked a lot about EADs, and there are a lot of questions that I got on that video as well. So I'm going to make a follow-up video on EADs and go through certain other scenarios that I have not covered in my last video. So watch out for that video. If you haven't already subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.